take a really long nap.
Where are we? What's happening? I think we sound better.
I do think we sound better. In fact, I think we look better. Hopefully,
we definitely don't look better. Not come back in 6 months.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Maybe we don't look better. However, we are back, and it's been a really long time.
Been a wait.
Do you know when our last podcast went out?
Was it even this year?
Yes. Yeah. In fact, I think we did 2 or 3 this year.
Right. March.
February.
I was close.
I think it was February. But yeah, there's been nothing since then. And truth be told, I didn't even know whether we'd be doing it ever again.
Well, no, we did chat once or twice. And a few people have kind of coerced us into it.
Yeah, that's true.
But no, it's the only time we'll probably talk to each other. Because
in a nice way, you mean?
Well, you watch so much telly.
Mm-hmm, I do.
That it's just unreal.
And you just play so much guitar and Xbox now
and PlayStation.
I know. Yeah.
Oh, the new consoles have come out. We haven't even discussed. That's not even on the list of things to discuss.
It's not on the list of things to discuss
right,
because I know that you would talk forever about those things.
Yeah, it might come up. So yeah, so we're doing it. We're podcasting. We are and videoing it as well. I don't quite know how this works.
Well, I figure the podcast will go out as an audio podcast first, and then the video, if the video works, because I still don't know, that'll go out a little bit later on YouTube.
If we earned money doing this, how amazing would that be?
Yeah, we're doing it for the love, for the pure love.
I'm just doing it to keep our marriage alive.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, after, 20-something, 4 years we've been together? I don't know. Anyway, so I thought that the best way to come back at this, and we're doing this on New Year's Eve, by the way, actually.
Yeah.
It is New Year's Eve. In a few hours, it will no longer be 2020. It will be 2021.
And we can't be like, we're not being lame this year because no one can go out.
No, yeah.
So it's not like, we're just going to stay in and be boring. It's like, you've got no choice.
But we do stay in and be boring.
No, but I'm just saying.
Yeah, sure.
Well, this year, we're not being lame.
Yeah.
We're doing as we're told.
I'm not even drinking. I'm drinking juice.
Well, I've got port.
Yeah, well, it looks like a cocktail, but it's juice, I promise. But yeah, so on that theme of the new year coming, I decided that the best way to kick this off was with a review of 2020, because let's face it, a lot has happened this year. Good and bad.
I've been quite bored.
You've barely left the house this year.
I've barely left this room.
But honestly, tons of stuff has actually happened, and there's a lot to talk about, Disney and non-Disney. And the plan for the podcast going ahead actually is to kind of balance out that Disney and non-Disney a little bit more long term, right?
Yeah. Well, I think this is like an end of year, end of season podcast. We've not had a season, but whatever it was, this actually will be the first episode of season 3. Is it? Is this not the last podcast of whatever we did before?
No.
And the next one will be a new format and structure.
Well, this is going to be like a standalone episode.
I think so.
Okay.
Because
we'll go with that.
Because I want like certain segments in the new one with like jingles and stuff.
Okay. Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
So, this is just a standalone end of year. But they have the big fat quiz of the year, that kind of thing. Yeah. This is like the big fat podcast of the year.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I'll go with that. I will go with that. But going forward, we will have more variety, and we will have the opportunity to not only talk about our Disney stuff as we normally do, and let's face it, that's why most people listen to us right now and have done in the past. But we're just going to talk about whatever the heck we want. Really.
You can't just. Some people do just talk about Disney, and I've seen those videos, and there's only so much.
Hopefully, there's more to us than that.
They talk about the tiles in the bathroom in like DVC property. Who gives a shit about the tiles in the bathroom? I don't even remember what tiles are in any bathroom in Disney. If you're spending your time at Disney looking at the tiles, you're just in the wrong place.
I remember some tiles.
Oh, at Disneyland Paris. It's because they're mouldy.
That's true.
All the tiles at Disneyland Paris are mouldy.
And the bathrooms smell musty.
Yeah, because of the mould.
But do you think in the Disneyland Hotel that's the case? Because we've never...
It's just a higher class of mould. Oh. I think it's probably like a rarer strain of mould.
Species.
Yeah.
Like if you got sick, it would make you sicker?
It's like the mould in blue cheese, but a very expensive blue cheese. Because it's French as well.
It's the desirable mould.
Oh, suck it bleu.
I don't desire mould of any kind.
Unless it's in cheese.
Sorry?
Unless it's in cheese.
Yeah, I do like blue cheese. I've had a lot of that. I've had way too much food. So new format. We have new kit. We have proper mics now. We have a proper desk thingy that I have no idea how to use, but it lights up like a Christmas tree and it looks amazing.
It just looks cool.
It looks really, really cool, and we can preload all our music and our sounds in there and everything, and it works really well. And you don't do anything by halves. And I think the only way we were ever going to bring this podcast back is if you can actually do it all proper.
Yeah. Well, the way I figured it is if you're going to do it, it's got to sound right. Mm-hmm. I mean, before we had one mic, we were sat like in the living room, and that was it. Just recording onto the laptop.
And it was kind of echoey.
It was a bit rubbish.
And we would blow the sound out, and then any music that we wanted had to be put on in post.
You had to edit it afterwards.
Yeah.
And I wanted to have buttons that had jingles and effects and stuff. So I spent all day today loading different effects and jingles into this thing.
You've had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
There you go.
But you might hear some later.
Maybe you will. So, I mean, ultimately, this is just going to make the whole podcast a bit more interactive because we actually now have the ability for people to join in, right?
It won't make the content any better.
No.
It will still be fairly shit. But it will sound like really high quality shit.
Yeah, totally.
Like, it will be the polished turd.
Highbrow shit.
Yes.
Okay. But we can have people join in with us now because this fancy desk thing will allow us to... I mean, if we wanted to have a phone in, we could have a phone in, but this is a pre-recorded thing.
Would anyone phone?
I don't know.
It would probably just be some, the same weird guy, some weird, creepy guy.
Probably.
In an anorak.
Do you mean you?
I don't wear an anorak.
Oh, okay. So, yeah, I think that covers everything we want going forward.
Yep.
So, back to this evening's episode.
Go on.
We're going to review 2020. And I was thinking about the whole year, and I think there are 4 main kind of sections that you could break this year up into, right? So the biggest thing in 2020, obviously, is coronavirus. Has dictated most things that have gone good and bad.
That bug that's gone around.
That little bug, yeah.
Heard of that?
Think you might have had it.
I get everything.
So
probably from Amazon as well.
You've had meningitis twice.
Well, I wasn't sure I had it the first time, so I had to double check.
Yeah, sure. So first section of the year, kind of January to March. That's like that pre-COVID time when, everything seemed quite promising. I mean, what were we doing then? We were planning our Disney holiday. Were we making dining reservations? Did we have a dining plan for this year's trip? I mean, obviously it didn't happen, spoiler alert, but...
So I don't even remember. No, I think we were getting... Because it was we were just getting to ADR Day, weren't we?
Yeah. ADR Day for us is usually in February because we always go in August.
Yeah.
But I can't remember...
No, we did. We made them.
Because
it was... Because then Disney came in and deleted them all, remember?
Oh, yeah, that was
because we still weren't sure a bit later if we were going or not, but they binned off all the dining plans and everything.
Yeah. So we were... At the start of the year, we were really hopeful. We were planning for a Disney trip.
Yeah.
You were about to start a new job. I was quite content where I was, kind of content where I was in my job. I was kind of working through school and everything seemed to be going pretty good. And then coronavirus came at the end of March. And
it was really slowly though. It wasn't really real and everyone was like, Well,
the thing was something that was happening, thousands of miles away, and you felt bad for those people, but you just thought, I'm just going to go out now.
No, because obviously I'm a member of a few highbrow websites, one of them being Above Top Secret.
Oh, yeah.
And that it was on there back in December. So we kind of knew.
Yeah, I remember you talking about it.
So, yeah, it was, but it snuck up over many, many months. And then when it kind of happened, you kind of thought, well, it's not that big a deal, and it will just, be a thing.
I remember being at work, and people at work going, "It's just the flu. It's just the flu." And at the time, I kind of thought, yeah, maybe, but I also was kind of scared. I feel like that kind of first week at work, though, I was really conscious of it. I washed my hands like 30 times a day, and my skin got really dry and raw and horrible. And, I have since managed to work out a more efficient way of doing that where I'm not stripping the skin off my hands.
I just don't wash my hands anymore.
No.
I just keep, if I just put my hands down my pants.
Yeah.
And I figure the hot air and moisture. Well, it's like a steam, it's like disinfecting, right?
Are you growing your own mould down there?
Smell.
No.
I think it's all right. So that's what I do.
Okay. So lockdown happened. You had just started your job.
I did.
You were in the workplace for 2 weeks and you developed a cough.
A continuous cough.
Cough.
It was a new continuous cough.
It really was.
I had not had it before.
Was there not a point when you were in a meeting in a boardroom with a bunch of people and you kept coughing and they kept looking at you?
They all moved to the other side of the boardroom because it was literally the whole corona thing had just
literally just happened, and that news about the cough had just come out. So you came home that day and we all went into isolation. 4 days later, national lockdown happened.
Yeah.
So
and that's it. And here we are now. We can just skip everything else, can't we? That's what's happened. That's the year.
In some ways. So that lockdown, that's our kind of second chunk of time. That's from the end of March through to July. And in July...
Do we call it the lockdown or do we call it the takeaway period?
Well, we could call it the takeaway period, but let's face it, we had takeaway last night and the night before. So
so the takeaway period has been elongated to the rest of the year.
Yeah.
Until tomorrow when it's just vegetables.
Yeah, from tomorrow
and
will
fitness.
just be vegetables and fitness. Yeah.
So where are we then? We've done COVID
so lockdown. From August to October, I'm going to call that period of the year freedom. Because we did actually start going out more and, we had more trips planned. Those trips got cancelled.
It was really hot. I remember going out on my bike and I rode to Dartmoor, like motorbike, not Lycra.
Yeah.
And I went swimming in like a reservoir.
Oh yeah. Well, that was earlier in the year.
That's when it was hot.
I'm talking about the end of the summer when we actually went away. We went and I'm sure we'll talk about this more later. But we
stayed at that house.
That house
with those people
in that place.
Yeah.
Who was that again?
Some weirdos.
Can't remember. Dawn and Andy.
And Alba.
Yeah. So we actually got to see some of our Disney friends in real life, and that was really cool because had the Florida trip gone ahead, we would have hooked up with them over there, and obviously it didn't happen for them either. So it was nice to see those guys.
We hung out. We coerced them into pizza.
We ate more takeaway.
Yeah,
and then after seeing them, that's when we went to visit the Warner Brothers studio tour.
Oh, what are we talking about that?
We will cover that a bit later because someone's asked about that specifically. And kind of then life felt like it was kind of getting back to normal a little bit. And we started making more plans. We made plans for Christmas that were going to be really good, and they never happened.
Well, because we'd made secondary summer plans, and then we had made also backup Christmas plans.
Yeah,
there's lots of plans.
There was a lot of cancelled plans this year, and then you kind of fast forward to the kind of the fourth chunk of time this year, and that would be November, December. I'm calling that Happy New Tier.
Is that good news or bad news?
It was bad news. We weren't lucky enough to exist in Tier 1 here in Somerset. We started off in Tier 2.
We started off in Tier 2, which was.
It was all right. Well, yeah, it was okay.
It was all right. I mean, Tier 2, for me, for someone who doesn't like interact with like the human race for the most part, Tier 2 is my normal life.
That's true.
Like, what? No, it was normal. I was quite happy with Tier 2.
Yeah, it wasn't.
And I don't want to go to the shops.
It wasn't too bad.
I don't get my hair cut anyway.
No.
To be honest, I'm quite happy in Tier 4.
I know you are. Your life hasn't really changed.
It's no different for me.
You've worked from home the entire time. Like you had those first 2 weeks in the office. You got the cough. You went home and you've stayed at home.
Like since. I've been here. I've been right here now.
Yes.
For 10 months.
Yeah.
Wow.
Crazy. And then we went to Tier 3, and then what was it like a few days ago? Tier 4.
Ew!
Yeah.
Oh no.
Bad.
Tier 4. But I quite like Tier 4. Well, no. It's a bit. I feel bad saying it because obviously it does affect people.
Yeah.
You know, and there's people we know that have businesses that are like shafted because of Tier 4.
Yeah, totally.
But, you know, personally, I just don't notice any difference. Except for it makes me more angry when I see people out going about their normal lives. And like, I want to police them. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm not the kind of person that will call the police when people are doing something, but it makes me really angry. I want to go and grab them.
We have had it, and you know, I'm sure a lot of people have had moments where people they know or their neighbours or whatever have broken the rules, and it's really, really pissed them off. And we've had that. I remember Easter Monday when, you know, normally families would get together, and a lovely neighbour of ours had, I don't know, his whole family round for a barbecue on Easter Monday. It was lovely.
It's weird.
It looked really nice. It made me really angry.
It's hard for people, but, you know, it's, yeah, I don't know. But, you know, I quite like it because it's kind of quiet, you know, other than, like, the ridiculous amount of fireworks at the moment, which is... Like,
we do seem to live in the kind of fireworks hotspot of the southwest of England when it comes to New Year's.
It's like shock and awe.
Yeah,
you know,
it really
it's like Baghdad in the 90s.
Yeah.
Was it 90s? That was 2000s, wasn't it? Well,
yeah, it was early 2000s.
Yeah, I'm old school because I remember the first one.
Yeah.
That's why I joined the army.
That's because you're an old man.
Oh, that's why.
Yeah. So fireworks will be going off all around us right now, actually, because they just aren't continuous all evening. But with this fancy new equipment, no one's going to hear it. So that's a godsend. So yeah, Kai's looking after the dog because he really hates the fireworks. The dog hates the fireworks, not Kai.
He used to.
So Kai did used to hate fireworks. It was really hard trying to take him to anything that had fireworks. I think actually the first sort of 3 Disney trips we took, we watched the fireworks in Main Street, right up the end by the train station, and he would still watch the entire thing with his hands over his ears.
Ear defenders. He used to wear ear defenders.
Yeah.
Peltor ear defenders.
Yeah, it was bright. Yeah. But he's fine now.
Yeah.
It's fine. I think 2017 was the year he finally removed his hands from his ears.
Maybe 2021 will be the year I finally removed my hands from my pants. Maybe not.
I'm not holding out. Anyway, okay. So moving on to questions, I asked people on Instagram this week to send us their questions for, you know, what we want to talk about in terms of 2020, our experiences, what we thought, what we went through, all that kind of thing. So
what we bought.
What we thought. Do I need to enunciate my words any clearer on this podcast?
Oh, you might need to.
Okay. So had a lot of questions about lockdown and COVID.
Go on.
Right. Just a general. I'll combine the two because they kind of go together, right? First 2 questions: how did you cope with lockdown, and did you have to manage any anxiety during lockdown?
They're different.
Well. No, I'm going to disagree, right?
No, right. For me, no different. Because I don't like going out, so I didn't go out. I didn't see anyone, and you didn't have to make excuses for not wanting to see anyone. It was awesome.
Well, yeah, I mean, from that point of view, it served you quite well. I will say the only way I struggled with some stuff for sure. I think the only thing you struggled with, and it was just not lockdown making you feel that way, but because of lockdown it put you in a difficult position. You started a new job. It's a very serious job, lots of responsibility, and 2 weeks in you're locked in your house trying to figure out how to do your job and do it well from a computer. And that, I think you felt the pressure of that for a little while, and it's all worked itself out very well in the end, and you're really, really happy now. But I think for the first month or two, you just really, and I'm sure lots of people did, really struggle to kind of go from working in an office environment to actually doing it.
Yeah, it was weird because it was a whole, you know, new job thing, which is always difficult. But it was good. I mean, you know, I work at a decent place. I work for the MOD, and it's so it's awesome, and it was fine. You know, it took a few months to get into that groove, but I kind of like it. At first, I used to get really freaked out. Like, do you remember at the beginning of the lockdown when Microsoft Teams used to advertise on the TV?
Oh yeah, that advert was all the bloody time.
So even in the evenings, you'd hear.
What was the noise like?
I can't even remember now because I think teams.
Bloom, bloom, something like that.
Yeah, whatever. I don't think people are going to get it from that.
Okay.
but whatever the sound effects are in Teams, because I probably have about 10, 12 different Teams calls a day. Mm-hmm. And so they'd advertise in the evening. You'll be sat there, you'd have your tea, be chilling out, and then the meeting start sound would come on, and you're like, shit.
Yeah.
Like you're in your pants.
But it puts your mind into that work
mode.
And I remember looking actually on Twitter at the time, and the amount of tweets people were tweeting saying, "This is really unfair because I'm trying to relax, and you're making me think."
I complained to I don't know, Ofcom, Ofwatch, whoever does like the advertising thing. I got really pissy because it was like, I'm just trying to just chill out.
Yeah.
So there was that. But other than that, I think it was face masks. Face masks, because if you remember, I at the beginning of lockdown, because the face mask was so annoying.
Yeah. You shaved your beard off.
Yeah.
You didn't trim it. You shaved the whole thing off. In fact, someone asked about that and said, now that you've done that, and obviously you've grown the beard back, are you just more willing to actually put up with wearing a face mask over your beard?
I've learned this trick, and although you were shouting at me about it,
you look ridiculous.
Like a little bikini style face mask that only just covers your lips.
It's really weird.
No, just get your mask and scrunch it really narrow.
Yeah, but you did that. And we were... Where were we when you did that the other day?
HomeSense?
No, we were with Kai. I can't remember where we were. Anyway.
Clark's Village.
We were... Okay, yeah. We took Kai to spend his Christmas money before Tier 4 kicked in and all the shops shut. And you did this, like you say, stupid little bikini style face mask.
It was like Borat's face thong
on just over your mouth, but it started riding up your face, and you have little bags under your eyes, and it was like propping itself up under the bags on your eyes and like making them bulge out even further. You looked really strange. As long as you kept it down there, it's all right.
But my beard looked cool.
Your beard,
and that was the main thing, because otherwise you just get these like weird beard tails coming out the bottom of the mask.
Yeah,
and I don't like that. So.
Well, I mean, I'm glad you grew the beard back.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, I know that... I mean, how long have you had the beard now? 10? 11 years? We were trying to figure this out the other day.
11 years, something.
Yeah. And in that time, you've shaved it off 3 times?
No, twice.
Twice? Yeah. Is that all? Okay. You felt so confident going in there to shave it off. And then the minute you've done it, you've regretted it.
Yeah, it sucks.
So my suggestion to you is don't shave it off again.
Well, if you feel like shaving your beard... Anyone out there who has a long beard, male or female, I don't differentiate because you just can't nowadays because you'll get deleted or whatever it's called. What's the term now?
Cancelled.
Mm-hmm. So if you're a woman and you want to have a beard, crack on. Or not even a woman. If you're non-gendered and you want a beard, can you have a beard if you're non-gendered?
You can have whatever you want.
If you're a hamster, penguin, you want a beard, crack on.
I can grow a decent beard now. I reckon I'm old enough.
I so want a divorce. Literally, it's just this podcast holding our marriage together. But what you got to do is you got to shampoo it twice.
Right.
And then you got to use the best conditioner you can find and get it right in there for like 5 minutes. Just stand in the shower just for like 5 minutes, just conditioned. And then rinse it.
That's why all the hot water disappears.
And then the glory of the beard comes back.
Right.
The luxurious kind of, So that's what you got to do. If you want to shave it, do that. But it's only, a beard is only a beard if it's like at least an inch long.
Right.
Really, you've got to have several inches of hair. Mm-hmm. Otherwise, it's just stubble. Otherwise, it's just lazy shaving.
Oh, yeah, no, that I
it's
would
not
agree
deliberate.
With you. Yeah.
So that's what I recommend.
Okay.
Don't shave it, just pamper yourself.
And you did actually, you can count yourself among those who had a lockdown haircut of sorts, because I have cut your hair a couple times this year.
Yeah, but that's only, you've cut it like to shoulder length.
Oh yeah, it's
so
like
not like
the
a haircut,
most basic of basic haircuts
it's
ever.
Just trimming
it's really
the ends.
easy.
Because it was down to like my boob.
Yeah, I mean, it grew really long, and we chopped like 6 inches off the first time, and then we chopped another couple of inches off, and it's looking good now.
It's just below shoulder length. It's all right.
So that's all good. I in terms of coping with lockdown and anxiety, I have actually changed jobs twice this year.
It's a way to cope.
Yeah. Well, the first time, to be fair, something cropped up in the job I was in at the start of the year that made me think, maybe I don't want to be here anymore. So I handed in my notice, and I had a temporary job to go to. Do you remember that? That was like a temporary to permanent kind of deal. And I handed my notice in, and that was 2 weeks before lockdown. And then lockdown happened, and I'd left, and the job I had promised to me had gone because the business had shut down. So I was a bit stuffed, and I took a job with the NHS that I thought was going to be really good. And I remember talking on Instagram about it, like it was super positive, and I was really happy. And I really, really was happy. But then after doing the job for a while, hated it, and ended up having to change jobs again.
There you go.
But now I've got a really, 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 really good job. It's brilliant. Yay! Anyway. But that time I was working for the NHS, I did the whole job in lockdown from home. I only met 2 of my colleagues on like 2 separate occasions. And the job was nothing like what they promised to me. And just that combined with being at home all the time for me actually was not good for me.
And I prefer it when you're at the house. I don't like it when you're working from home. I prefer
it when I'm at the house. I
even
found
when
it
I'm
really
working
hard.
from home, I don't like it when you're working from home. And today, I'm off all this week, but you've been at work upstairs, and it's really annoying.
Yeah.
Because I want to make loads of noise. I want to turn my guitars up really loud.
And I've got calls and stuff that I need to
and
make,
I'm conscious of that, so I'm not doing it.
Well,
I didn't even play in the Xbox today.
On the days when we're both working from home right now, it works. But I would find working from home 5 days a week full time too much. I need that little bit of variety. So
I like it. I like not seeing human beings other than like their 2D image.
Yeah,
it's amazing. No. And if I don't want to see it, I just turn the camera off, so they can't see me. I can't see them. I just do that.
And do you not get into trouble for that?
No one says anything. It's civil service. Everyone's too polite.
Yeah, that's very true. That's very true. So I actually did have a bit of a struggle, and I had anxiety and struggling at a level I've never really experienced before, so that was a bit of a weird one for me, just going through that for the first time. But you and I are fairly clued up on these kind of mental health things, and so you were really good support for me, and I did make sure I got out of the house and kept some routines going, and that helped a lot. I mean, my getting out the house was going to the shops to buy food and to do things like that, but by doing that really helped me, and ultimately changing job helped me. So that was really good. But all in all, we coped really well. I tell you, one of the things that did actually help us all 3 of us, in fact, the most.
Drugs?
No, a little bit more bland and boring than drugs. We had an allotment this year. We don't have it now. We have actually given it up.
That's really boring. Can we not talk about it, though?
I will just say
boring.
It gave us an opportunity to get outside, and
we did more. Although we grew a lot of shit, we did more sitting, cooking bacon, smoking cigars,
drinking coffee,
and
that bit
generally
was
what
nice.
we did,
and talking COVID conspiracy theories, I seem to remember at the time.
Yeah,
and it was awesome weather. The summer weather was absolutely amazing. So
it was. Talking a friend of ours, Joe, who is the barber, who's getting shafted at the moment under the tier. Yeah, he got an allotment, but would spend all of his time talking to us rather than doing anything on his new allotment.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
About either COVID conspiracies or Star Wars.
Yeah,
because he's one of these idiots that prefers the prequels. Like,
I get it, because he's younger than us, and they were his Star Wars movies growing up, and Kai kind of feels the same because he enjoyed them as a kid.
I'm not going to get into it now, but anyone who prefers the prequels, get out.
Sorry,
it's wrong. It's wrong. It's wrong.
Okay.
Are we going to talk about Mando later?
Oh, yeah, we definitely will talk about Mando.
Cool. This is like really boring at the moment. We're talking about COVID and tears and lockdowns.
Let's whiz through the rest
of
COVID.
Like better stuff. This content is shit.
Let's whiz through the COVID stuff really quickly. One of our listeners in America just wanted to know how Kai did school.
The only listener. The listener in America. Howdy.
Yeah.
Y'all. Where are they from?
Oh, God, don't put me on the spot. I could tell you, but I'd have to
Tell me and I could do the accent.
No.
Like I did when I was on...
no.
The longest running stage show in the world.
Oh, God.
Is it in the world? in America, in the world.
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
Hoop to do review?
review. Yeah.
Go and look on. It is on one of our vlogs, right? On one of our.
You dressed as a Native American and you put on a terrible accent, and I feel like there are a lot of people that would have more than one issue with that these days.
I will say that
Talk about getting cancelled.
My accent. They made me dress like a Native American,
okay.
Right? But my accent was not a Native American. It was a Southern American.
Yeah.
So it's not Native American. So I can't be cancelled for being
it was
from
just
Alabama.
all kinds of messed up.
Anyway, so you don't know where this American is
I
from.
don't, but they just wanted to know what Kai did for school.
Not a lot. Home learning.
No, he didn't even do any home learning.
He did
From March to.
He did like homework. He did homework. No
revision,
learning.
No new learning.
Yeah.
And then he's been back at school since September. School's been riddled with COVID. It's a mess. At the moment, he's supposed to be taking his exams next year. I hope that doesn't happen because it's just a complete mess.
Only because of the way that exams. We won't go into it now because it's just too confusing. Even like the teachers don't understand it, I don't think.
No.
But the way that exams are marked in the UK now and have been for the last few years, the way that COVID has impacted it makes it ridiculous to mark it because it's so unfair.
It just makes it unfair.
Yeah.
Really, really unfair to those who haven't been able to put the time in. But Kai's fine. Kai's coped with lockdown extremely well.
It's no different for him.
No.
Same as me. He stayed in his room. It's no different than the summer holidays. He's in his room, other than when he's doing schoolwork, revision, that kind of stuff. He's just on his...
like you, he's not massively face-to-face social.
So he's online with his mates. So they're all in groups on headphones talking to each other, but that's how they are nowadays. They're like this, like we are now.
Totally.
They don't actually see each other.
So
they're like virtual.
So yeah. Someone asked, are there any foods or you loved or appreciated more in 2020? Well, I mean, not necessarily
2020.
2020. Not necessarily foods that we appreciated, but I think Papa John's really appreciated us in 2020.
Do you know what I was going to have, and I can't believe I'm saying this, I was going to have, because as we kind of alluded to earlier, our diet and fitness regime starts tomorrow, like in a big way. And I was planning on having like one last like farewell pizza.
Oh, what, Papa John's? Oh my gosh, I'm so sick of the stuff now.
I just didn't fancy it.
No.
I just didn't fancy it. And for me not to fancy pizza,
Oh,
but they started putting too much tomato sauce on it. So what's all that about?
Loads. And it all gathers next to the crust. So
well,
you start eating the pizza slice.
Oh, Jep has the crust.
No, I don't. I eat the crust. You got to dip it in the garlic butter. What are you talking about?
Stuff.
Yeah, you start eating, it's nice, then you work to the crust and it's horrible. Ugh. We've eaten a lot of McDonald's breakfasts.
I think that we've almost been sponsored by McDonald's breakfast. So because you can't do anything or go anywhere properly, we've been going out just places early in the morning, like random places on the weekend.
Or going out for a walk.
Yeah. And so where we've been out early, we just go past the McDonald's. I've even
gone food shopping early on a weekend
to bring back McDonald's breakfast.
Brought back McDonald's breakfast with me, and it's at the point where I don't even remember the last time I had like a regular McDonald's burger.
And the worst thing now, I don't know why, the worst thing, the best thing, but like same as like the Walmarts in the States, is our Asda now has a McDonald's in it.
It does, yeah.
So the Asda restaurant
lockdown.
is gone. The shitty Asda restaurant where you always get that, sausage, chips, and beans as a kid
in fried bread.
I don't remember
really
that.
Gross fried bread, yeah.
I don't remember that. You had a shit childhood. But yeah, so now it's a McDonald's.
Yeah.
So now you're shopping. What are you going to do? Of course you're going to come out because you can smell it. You can smell it in the car park. When you walk in, when you're walking around, and you come out, you need to have it.
Yeah.
So that's the thing.
So we can't go to Asda anymore either.
No. I can only go to Asda because I've memorised the layout. And I don't like...
You have a really weird affinity for, not even the Asda in the town we live in, but Asda in the next town, because your mother worked there when you were a small child, and you used to go there a lot to meet her.
I don't go to the Asda, the one we live in.
No, but the one in the next town is the one she worked in.
Oh, when I was little?
Yeah, and you used to go there when you were a little boy, and so you have this weird, love for this.
No, that's not what it is, though.
It is weird.
I don't like it's not I don't like change. I don't like things that are different.
Really? Sorry, really?
No, because I work in a change environment. Okay. I don't like things that are different. So when I go to Asda...
I'll back that up. It's not that I don't like change. It's just that I don't like things that are different.
Yeah, well, you're twisting it now. You're trying to twist it. Right?
I'm not twisting. I don't like change. I just don't like it when things are different.
Right. So you're making shit up. What I'm saying is there are other supermarkets that I'm sure are fine.
Yeah, there are.
But I like to know where everything is, because I don't like pissing about. I don't go in there to hang about in a supermarket. You know, some people waft. They go into a supermarket and they waft. And you're one of these people.
Oh, yeah, got to touch everything.
You touch it. Mm-hmm. It's like, it's a tin of fucking beans. They all feel the same. It's a tin. It could be any tin.
Yeah.
It could be pasta, that shit curry. Why do they put curry in a tin? Shit. But anyway, it could be anything.
Most tin.
I'm touching my laptop now, talking about it. Yeah. Why am I touching it? But it's weird.
Well, I mean, I don't touch tins and stuff, but if I'm in a clothes shop, you've got to touch everything, right?
You don't. But it annoys me. And so I go in and I always park in roughly the same parking space.
Yeah, you do. And you get really angry if you can't park there.
Oh, it just throws me.
No, and this is wait. Not only do you get really angry, because this is a massive Asda supermarket. It's huge. Yeah. And the car park is huge. And he said park car then. I used to say that a lot when I was a child. Yeah, I used to say that a lot when I was a child. Anyway, but if you can't park in your normal area, you then have to go right to the bottom. Right
to the end. Yeah. It's like the default space. If you can't get in your actual parking spot, go to the back.
And you've got to walk miles.
No, go to the back.
Even if it's chucking down the rain.
No, it's like the reset button of parking. It's the reset button of parking. You've got to. If you can't get your actual preferred spot, go to the back.
It's ridiculous.
But yeah, I could draw Epcot, just like, you know, bringing it back to Disney a little bit.
Yeah, just shoehorn that in there.
I could draw the map of World Showcase, and I could draw Asda, right? And I like it because I can go there, get what I want, get out, literally 20 seconds. Mm-hmm. 20 seconds, 25 tops. Depends if I've got to get like alcohol checked, like a little age verification thing.
No one's verification. No one is verifying your age.
No, but they got to come and do the thing on the screen.
Yeah.
Right? Oh, you over? You know. Mm-hmm. And I like that. I love that. Go to another supermarket, it's just weird, and it feels foreign. It feels like you're in a different country.
Really?
Yeah. If you go to a strange, people do this. So anyone out there, next time you go shopping, go to the supermarket like the same one, but in the next town, and it will freak them out.
That is true. That is very true.
Because it will feel like you're somewhere else. It's like familiar, but it's not. It's the same as going to Walmart in the States. It's like familiar. It's the same shit, but it's like, it's different. And there's guns.
And canoes.
Yeah.
And an amazing fabric section.
Oh, okay,
we're going way off piece now. Someone asked, how did you both cope with changing jobs during a pandemic? I feel like we kind of covered that.
Yeah,
ultimately, we cope pretty well. And I will accept, because there are a lot of people out there that are really struggling to find jobs. We were just super lucky.
Oh, we're really lucky.
And very, very grateful for that. And I will not be changing jobs again in a hurry, and I don't think you will either.
No.
So the last lockdown question, well, what would your top 3 things be about staying at home?
Top 3 things for staying at home?
Yeah, about having all this time at home, I guess, over the past year.
Using your own toilet when you got to go.
Right, yeah.
I like that.
That's true, actually. Yeah, I hadn't thought of that.
There's nothing like it when you got to go.
Yeah.
You've got your own toilet.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
Hanging out with your dog.
He is a good work buddy.
He's like the best colleague I've ever had.
Yeah, except he never like makes cuppa.
No, but we just hang out by the water bowl.
Oh, really?
Chat, shoot the breeze.
Yeah.
So that was number
2 of 3.
I'm able to set games to download like sequentially on the Xbox and PlayStation now. Mm-hmm. Without having to wait to come home to do it. Although you can do it from the apps, because Kai does it from his apps, but I don't enable that feature because I think like foreign governments are going to hack me, so I don't do it.
And he doesn't think that?
I don't think he don't think he's bothered.
He deleted TikTok this year because
he doesn't dance. It's ridiculous.
We all know it's just because he doesn't dance, right? Yeah. Cool. Top 3 things for me. I get to wear leggings every day for work.
I'm sick of leggings.
I have worn a lot of leggings. But on Teams calls, no one has to know. You can be all like business up top and like leggings, great.
No.
Love it. Love it.
I hate leggings.
Mm-hmm. I mean, because I'm not like 100% on board with the being at home all the time thing like you, I tell you what I did, and this is really boring, but in the summer when we're both working from home, going out for a walk at lunchtime is really nice. Definitely.
We did it like 5 times.
No, we did it more than that.
6.
But it's good.
In an entire year.
It was good for physical health and good for mental health, and definitely something I want to do more of.
No, because the moment the weather changes, you don't want to do it.
No, I know, but I really do need to be more disciplined.
I went and did like 5K today.
Yeah, well, you didn't work today and I did.
No, and I went out and I'm on day off. I should have stayed in my pants all day. By rights, by our deliveries. Mm-hmm. In fact, they arrived when I was in the shower. So
they did, yeah.
Didn't even need to do that.
Honestly, I don't know. And this sounds really stupid, but I don't know that I could think of a third one.
Me?
Yeah.
You got to spend all this time with me.
I got to spend all that time with you.
Yeah. Come on, what topics we got?
Okay. Right. So, biggest question that a lot of people asked, what happened with our Disney plans this year? So we are bringing it back to Disney a little bit.
I think people will kind of know what happened to us.
Some people know, some actually don't. And
I think it's the same that happened to everyone's Disney plans, right?
Yeah, but we started 2020 off with one set of plans, Disney plans. Those Disney plans changed, then they changed a third time.
Well, we knew early doors. So during the first lockdown, it was clear that you weren't going to go to the States.
No.
Because America wasn't letting anyone in.
Well, we held on. So my mum had a trip booked for Florida in May. And so very quickly, it was quite clear that wasn't going to go ahead. So I felt really bad for her that she had to cancel that. And she was one of these poor people that had booked with Virgin and they didn't get their refund from Virgin for their flights for like 3 months. It was crazy. But I still held on to the hope that we would be able to go in August. I mean, like right up until sort of June, I was still there. I was still banking on it.
Was it? No, it wasn't that late.
Yeah,
no, it wasn't.
Was.
No, it wasn't. No.
It was May.
Yeah,
May was when we cancelled our flights.
The latest.
Oh, so did we cancel our flights or did BA cancelled our flights?
I don't even know why you're on this podcast because you just make stuff up.
Well, dates are sketchy.
So it wasn't going to happen. This was at the time because it was the first time COVID had cancelled any flights or was impacting anyone's holidays. Mm-hmm. Is anyone could pull their holidays and they would get their money back, right? It wasn't like latter ones where if you booked since COVID, you're kind of screwed for the most part.
Yeah. So
America weren't letting anyone in.
Nope.
Disney was shut down. It wasn't going to happen. We kind of knew it wasn't going to happen. And we kind of thought, well, let's just sort shit out now. And we pulled it and we bounced our points because that's what we wanted to do. Because we wanted to bounce our DVC points. Mm-hmm. So we banked them. We cancelled our reservations and banked them for next year.
Initially, we did toy with the idea of rebooking for Christmas, and because we could use our points to get a couple of weeks at Saratoga Springs, and we could do it within school holidays. And we're thinking back, that
we were going to
go.
We were going to do like a week at Disney and a week in Boston or something.
We considered doing that as well, but then we realised that our gold passes. We had gold passes, annual passes, right? Mm-hmm. Were blocked out over Christmas. They're kind of pointless. So we didn't bother with that. And
I don't think that wasn't the key driver. The main thing was about like school for Kai and stuff. Mm-hmm. So. But anyway, so we pulled it and banked our points.
Got some money back.
Yeah, and we, so that was that. So what we thought we'd do is, we're not going to the States. And as things started to ease, so we're coming out of the first lockdown and things looked like they were getting better. Mm-hmm. Is you thought, well, that's going to be it now. That's kind of,
And things were opening up again.
Yeah,
and in July, Disneyland Paris opened up again.
It looks like it's getting back to normal.
Yeah.
DLP opened up. So we booked a week, best part of a week away over the summer.
Yeah.
In Paris, Disneyland Paris.
Yeah.
And we booked a week over Christmas, over Christmas to Boxing Day, day after Boxing Day.
Yeah.
So we're not going to the States. We'll have 2 trips to Paris, but then, yeah, I think everyone knows what happened. So
I can't remember how
the first trip. The first trip, because things started getting shitty again.
No,
our flights got cancelled.
Well, it was a combination of things. That first trip in August, the reason we didn't go ahead
The
with
flight
it in
got
the
cancelled.
end...
Because you saw someone online that
Yeah.
had their flight cancelled, and you said, you know, have we heard anything? I was like, no. And I went online to the EasyJet website, and our flight was cancelled. We hadn't even been informed.
Yeah.
And our flight was cancelled.
They also brought
Thanks,
in
EasyJet.
that 2-week quarantine rule after, and this was right at the end of the summer holidays,
Yeah.
and Kai would have ended up having to miss the first 2 weeks of school. So we were already looking to cancel anyway, and then the flight got cancelled, and that just knocked it on the head for us. So we cancelled, thinking it's fine. We'll go at Christmas. We've got Christmas there. I think originally we were going to be doing like a few nights in an Airbnb just outside of Disneyland Paris, and then 3 nights at Newport Bay. We were going to wake up on Christmas Day in Newport Bay Hotel, and it was going to be absolutely freaking magical, but it never happened.
No. Well, one of those flights got cancelled anyway. Our return flight got cancelled beforehand.
Good old EasyJet.
And because they'd cancelled one of the legs, we could cancel everything anyway. So we did, and we cancelled the Disney thing. And at that point, when we did that, we were kind of like, well, it's looking pretty grim, but, you know, we still didn't know whether it was going to be an option for us to have gotten. But then as it's panned out, things have got worse and worse and worse, and DLP ended up being closed now until February at the earliest.
Yeah, so long story short, we've booked and cancelled 3 Disney trips for 2020.
Yeah,
and
three
we are
booked,
by
three cancelled.
no means alone, because I know so many people in the same boat.
Like, I know at the time it felt a bit shitty, but I don't mind, because, you know, we're lucky enough to be able to book 3 Disney trips.
Yeah.
You know, so to have them cancelled, like, so what? It's still there.
Yeah.
You know, it gives the French more time to paint that shit, because it is. It needs some shit doing to it.
I feel like it's already improved a lot since we were last there, and I know that when
what via telepathy? How do you know that?
No. Oh no, true, because some people did make it out there. I mean, I remember when before we cancelled that first summer trip, Yaz and Ash, who are the guys behind Magical Day Apparel, who don't sponsor us, but if you ever fancy it,
right? Can I? Right, I'm going to stop you there, right?
Yeah.
Because this reminds me of something that we just need to discuss.
Okay.
What's the name of the place that Yaz and Ash stayed at?
Okay, because we watched their vlogs, because we were really excited.
And it's not just them, right? It's everyone from the UK that stays there. Mm-hmm. Right?
You have a bit of a beef with these people.
Now, if you're going to say it in English, it's Nature Village.
It is Nature Village.
You've got to say Nature Village.
Yes.
Right? You can't say Village is Nature unless you say it in French. Because it's not Village is Nature.
And how do the French say it, Scott?
Le peur, je le me le falleur. Right? Something like that. Right? Well, that's the dialect, because I grew up in a small French village, and that's the dialect that we spoke. But it's Nature Village. Nature Village.
Okay.
You know?
And you just don't like it when people say Village is Nature.
No, because it's not. Because that's not what it's called. Right?
I was just trying to hanker for a sponsorship, and I think you may have cost us that now.
No, because I think people appreciate the education. Everyone does it, right? I'm not picking on anyone. Everyone does it, but it's just Nature Village. I know it sounds a bit common when you say that, but Village is Nature, especially when you've got a French person standing next to you, sounds way more common. Because it's not Village is Nature. Where are you going? Village is Nature. It's wrong. So Nature Village. So yeah, they stayed at Nature Village.
I'm going to murder this now. Is it something like Village Nature? Something like that? If you're French, let me know. Yeah, anyway, but look, they did go there, and they were so lucky. They got there, and they got to see like Disneyland Paris in its first week of reopening, and it was like 30 degrees and sunny all day, and it was dead. They literally walked on everything, and their vlogs were really, really good. Check them out. I think they're just Yaz and Ash on YouTube. And I was so jealous, and it made me so excited for going in August, and it just never happened.
Well, it made me feel really old watching their vlogs.
It's because you are old.
They took skateboards.
They did. Well, we took longboards camping when we were in our 20s.
But that's what I'm saying. It makes me feel really old now.
It's because you're old.
I don't take a skateboard anywhere now.
No, you'll be taking a walking stick soon.
So, I'll tell you what I'm not going to take. It's one of those freaking cars on the buses in Disney. I will scooter. Like the zombie, like in The Walking Dead, that has no legs and just crawls along with his arms.
Yeah.
I will do that before I use one of those fucking cars in Disney.
Up the ramp.
Yeah.
Grab it onto the pole.
You can do that.
Yeah.
bring the little ramp down.
Yeah.
And I'll like crawl on. That's quite a good zombie sound. That might be my zombie
You'd
sound.
clear that bus out and we'd get to be king of the bus.
Yeah. Well, to be honest, it's the same thing nowadays, isn't it? You just got a cough and king of the bus.
That's true. Someone very quickly asked, what did you do to bring the Disney magic into your home as you cancelled your trips? Standard. Deep Art Radio, some vlogs, and that's probably it, isn't it, really? And
American food.
American food, yeah.
We always do like an American food day or American breakfast day or something.
Yeah.
But Deep Art Radio, it's weird because I know there's other Disney stations and stuff, but I don't know, I just have this weird affinity for Deep Art Radio.
That's our
Although
station.
Alexa still twats me about every time, and I've got to put on different. I've got to sneak up on it and do like a different accent every time to fool it. Because if it knows it's me, it would play something different.
But she also, when you ask her to play Deep Art, she goes through this massive menu of options.
Do you want to listen to one? You're there for hours.
Or
It's like
Channel
just bored.
3. Or Channel
Channel
4. Yeah, it takes forever, but it's still totally worth it because Deep Art Radio is the best Disney radio station out there. Right, next section, getting towards the end now. What were the most positive things to come out of 2020? Because it wasn't all bad, and we certainly have had some amazing things looking back. And one of them, someone's asked, what was your experience of the Warner Brothers Studios tour, Harry Potter Studios tour?
Oh, before that though, I had a bit of a highlight this year, actually.
Okay.
I bought new pants.
Okay, so just to explain for people, when Scott buys pants, it is quite the event because unlike normal people who just might need a couple pairs of pants or fancy buying
Who needs a couple pairs of pants?
Scott, you buy your pants in bulk.
Right, so the way I look at it, okay, I've done 3 pant shops in about the last 20 years.
You sure you want to be admitting this?
Hey, I'm proud of the way I pant.
You have your hands all over them, apparently.
In them.
Okay.
So, yeah, about 20 years ago, I bought about 15 pairs of Calvin Kleins.
Yeah, you did.
All right. They lasted me a long while. And I will say they cost some money, but Calvin Kleins, they maintain your Gucci region.
Order.
They do.
Uh-huh.
They take, like, moisture.
Oh, God.
They take talcum powder. They take whatever you throw at them, put in them, cover them with. They love it, right? And they take it.
Seriously, what are you doing to your pants?
Pant stuff, right? So they lasted, right? Then I moved on. This shows how long ago afterwards to those Next pants, and you got me about 12 pairs of Next pants. So we
Bought
bought
them
12,
in bulk at the Next Directory.
12 pairs of Next pants, and they were okay, but they started getting blast holes.
They did.
And it wasn't even on the stitching.
No.
They would get holes up here.
Like you'd farted them out.
Yeah. It's like an ejector. I don't know. It's like aircon. I don't know what was happening, but it wasn't even on the seam. That was the weird thing. It was just.
And I would notice as I was hanging them out to dry on the light. Yeah, this year. And I believe I had to call you out the house and say, what the hell is going on here?
Yeah, so they still got a bit of wear in them, but...
So this time around, you've gone for a different brand.
Well, do you know what I did? So although I bought in bulk, I bought 2 brands.
Oh, you went kind of bargain bucket.
Well, no, I bought them bargain bucket, but I went for police, and in that police set that I bought, one of them was a white pair.
Yes.
And I generally only buy black pants.
You do only buy black pants.
But the white ones, I only wear when I'm staying at home.
Oh, really? Well, that's all you've done this year, to be fair.
Yeah, but sometimes you go out.
Right.
But the white ones, I won't, like, for example, I won't wear white ones at the weekend.
In case we go out.
Because there's a higher chance of going out at the weekend.
Okay.
So generally, if I'm just going to wear shorts, kick about the house, I'll wear white pants. Because there's less risk.
I haven't noticed this.
There's like a lower risk.
Right.
Of
Of what?
Just...
People seeing them?
Well, just...
Like what? Like
anything. Just doing...
Have I got to worry about being in your favourite Asda down the road and you see the McDonald's on the way out and you get so excited?
Well, that's why.
If
you're going to McDonald's...
And everyone sees your white pants.
If you're going to McDonald's,
Right.
never wear white pants.
Right.
And then
No, that's KFC, and that's a story for another time.
I don't know.
Maybe we might have even already told.
He wasn't even wearing pants.
No.
And what were the other ones? Were they FC UKs?
No. It's another opportunity for you to practice your French.
French Connection.
No. Not French Connection, because that's English for French and connection. It's a French name.
Really?
Yes.
Are they not French Connection pants?
They're not French Connection.
Oh, what did I buy?
You bought Pierre Cardin.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did.
They're not Pierre Cardin.
Yes, they are.
I promise you on my life, they are not Pierre Cardin.
I'm certain they are.
They are French Connection. They're French Connection.
We'll
you're already thinking Pierre Cardin because he died today or yesterday.
No.
He died yesterday.
Did he?
Yeah. Not because of my pants.
Okay, we'll do a pant check. We'll get a photo.
I promise you, I would never have bought Pierre Cardin. Pierre Cardin was like that shit, like jewelry someone got, someone
right,
from Argos.
Let me stop you just there. Would you rather have Pierre Cardin pants or Ben Sherman pants?
Fuck Ben Sherman.
Oh, see? Okay. Right, moving on from
I know
pants.
someone who wears Ben Sherman shirts. I won't say who.
No, stop right there. Right, okay.
It's just me. I've got a thing about Ben Sherman.
Yeah, you do. It's very strange and irrational.
And when I think about Ben Sherman, why do I think of the Jam? Is there a connection there? Paul Weller.
No,
I don't know.
I don't know. Didn't
people
he wear
riding
Fred
scooters.
Perry stuff. We're going way off now. Right. So, we were going to talk about Harry Potter studio tour. So, that was a very last minute decision for us. I was looking on Facebook at some nonsense, and there was an advert that came out literally a few days before they were set to reopen. Clicked on it, went through, managed to get tickets straight away for 2 weeks away, which is crazy because we've looked at booking to go there for the past couple of years, and it's always been
booked.
so booked up in advance. It's been kind of hard to commit, and we just never got around to actually committing to doing it. So being able to book it so soon was great. So we booked it, and say 2 weeks rolled around, and we went, and it was amazing.
Most stuff in the UK, it's pretty shit, right?
In terms of theme parks
anything.
and entertainment and
Anything.
leisure,
It's just shit. It's just shit.
Totally.
So, my expectations were set fairly. The bar was set quite low. I thought, it's going to be a bit shit. I peeked at a monkey at Blackpool Tower. I got photos of me with the monkey on my shoulder.
That photo, right, is from the 80s, the mid 80s.
Yeah.
But it could just as easily be the 1880s.
But
it looks that old.
British entertainment peaked at that monkey for me. Mm-hmm. I didn't think it could get any better.
Okay.
But then we went to Warner Brothers Studio Tour. Why it's called Warner Brothers Studio Tour, I don't know.
Everybody just
because
calls it Harry Potter
because
Land or
it's
Harry
just
Potter
Harry
World.
Potter.
Yeah. So you were impressed right from the off, even with the car park.
Although the sat nav took me from that exit roundabout and up around that dual carriageway ring road bit many times, I followed the sign in the end, which I just should have done in the first place rather than listening to the sat nav. But the car park, where it was all arranged, what impressed me, they had a toilet in the car park. You didn't have to wait until you got in the building.
No, that's true.
I urinated not in the car park, but in the toilet in the car park.
Okay.
I was well impressed.
Right. Fabulous.
And it was a nice toilet though. As toilets go.
I didn't
in a
use
car park. I mean, I don't hang out in toilets in car parks.
Oh my God.
But if I did, that would be a preferred one.
Is this what we've come to? Let's get past the toilets.
We did go past the toilets.
Yeah, we did.
And then the queue was quite nice because the building looks impressive from the outside.
It does, yeah.
It looks better than the entrance to Disney Studios in Paris.
Yeah, it kind of does.
It is better. And you've got all the imagery and the shit.
It's got the imagery. We kind of had the kind of whole queuing system, and just being in that kind of a queue felt like being on holiday a little bit.
It felt
again.
very Universal Studios.
And it had the music playing and stuff, and so all that together just felt lovely. And because it was one of their first opening days since being closed because of the pandemic, the numbers of people there were super, super low. It was really restricted capacity. So we had the benefit of being there when it was really, really quiet. like most of the time, there was kind of
we
no
were there
one
really
around
early.
us. We were there
Because we
for
stayed
one of the
at
early
we stayed at Dawn and
stops.
Andy's,
We did.
and we wanted to get out of there pretty quick, sharpish.
Yeah,
so we left really early.
Yeah, totally.
We won't tell you about it, but oh
God,
my god.
yeah. Anyway, but we went in around. We had breakfast there in the whole like restaurant bit before you actually start the tour. That was amazing.
Can I say? I will say, because people might not get it, right? We actually did have a really nice time at Dawn and Andy's.
We did.
They
yes.
are fantastic.
Yes.
But I will say,
Yeah.
that coffee they gave us was shit. It was the shittest thing.
You can't say that.
It didn't even taste like coffee.
You can't say
It didn't
that.
even taste like coffee. It was a funny colour, and it didn't taste like coffee.
You owe them a really nice coffee.
I'm gonna take them. Like,
Or a really shit coffee.
I'm gonna take them
which way this works.
my best beans when I see them.
Mm-hmm.
But whatever it was they palmed us off with, it looked like rabbit turd,
Scott, that's really rude.
and it tasted horrible. They won't listen to this bit because I'm saying it really
Oh,
quietly.
really? Okay, whatever.
But they're lovely, and we love staying with them, and we can't wait to hang out again and stay with them again. Just if you hang out with Dawn and Andy and Alba, don't drink their coffee. It's terrible. The machine stuff was all right.
I am so sorry. I am so sorry. Anyway, back to Harry Potter.
And it was a present from a friend of theirs as well, or something. Sorry, their friend, if they're
Can
listening.
you just get over this coffee thing?
I can't, I'm
Damn
scarred.
you. Harry Potter tour.
Oh, so good.
It was amazing. I don't want to give stuff away because there's certain elements of it that...
What do you mean give stuff away?
Well, just
if
like-
people have
just-
watched the movies,
No,
that's what's there.
No, just what I mean is, you know that beginning bit when there's...
What, the queue?
No. You kind of go into one room and there's a pre-show. You got the pre-shows, right? I don't want to ruin that because that felt really magical.
Oh, when it opens and...
And all that kind of stuff. So if you haven't been and done the Harry Potter thing, but you're a Disney and Universal fan and you want a little bit of
Do you know
that
what-
feeling, go and do this.
Do you know what it
because those
reminded me
pre-shows
of?
really, really make you feel it. What?
It reminded me of that show that was in Universal, where that chat show ride guy is now. The one that was like the behind the scenes type shit at Universal. What's it called? Like before Twister, it closed down.
God. Disaster.
Yeah, I love
Really?
that. Yeah, it made
you think of Disaster.
a little bit.
That's
like
really
way
weird.
better because Disaster. Well, Disaster was like shit, but in a kitsch kind of cool way.
Yeah, and that whole subway scene with the fire and the water, that's so Harry Potter.
No, well, there is a subway in Harry Potter. I mean, he's just reading a newspaper, but he's in a subway. But anyway, the actual tour, like, is, and because it's all the props and the sets and everything,
And the technical movie
so
making
the-
and all that kind of stuff.
when you get into the main hangar where it's got the sets of like the common room and the classroom and stuff like
Oh,
that,
the different areas of Hogwarts
like
and stuff. Yeah.
seriously, I could spend hours just hanging out in there. Like when you go there, like the first time you go, and I'm saying this, I've only gone once, but we have, like, spoiler, we've booked to go again
In spring.
In spring, if we're allowed. But because you want to, when you're somewhere new, you want to go and see the next bit and see the next bit, next bit.
Yeah.
Is next time we go, is that I'm going to hang out a shit ton. And I tell you what is, like, so a bit of advice is talk to the I want to say cast members, what are they called? Just the staff.
I know, it sounds really boring.
Talk to the staff.
Let's call them cast members. I don't.
Well, they're not.
you know.
It's not even Disney. It's
I know,
Universal.
I know.
If it was anyway, team members. What are they called? Team
Let's call them. That's what Universal call them.
But they are like super geeky and super knowledgeable.
Yeah.
So like, I didn't even know that there was a different Voldemort outfit
There were like 7 different versions
to
of
show
Voldemort's
if each
robes.
Horcrux. So every time a Horcrux was destroyed,
It would change
it
colour
would change
and
the
fade.
colour and fade his robes, and his robes changed every
Amazing.
time. And same as like the colour grading of the actual footage in the movie. So when you watch the first one, it's all colourful, and like the Deathly Hallows is like, it's like Saving Private Ryan.
Yeah, brilliant. We met some brilliant
But
people
like shit
working
like
there.
that, the stuff when there was that one we were talking to in Gringotts, and she was amazing.
Yeah, she was.
I don't
brilliant.
even remember what
I
we were talking
can't
about.
Remember her name?
But she was amazeballs. Only little.
She was tiny.
But-
she was
but-
lovely.
But she had more information than her stature
Yeah.
could hold.
And it was so dead. We were in there talking to her for a good 10 minutes straight.
No
and
one-
there was
no one.
not a single other guest in Gringotts.
And in fact, that is probably the best thing about COVID this year.
Yeah, is that we got to
it was so
experience that
dead.
empty.
But yeah, I would definitely recommend spending, if you kind of just go through it at a regular pace, just as a walkthrough, it's about a 3.5 hour experience. But I think
you could make it last longer.
I think you could make it about a 5 hour experience if you look at the detail and everything. Look at all the clothing, read all the little bits,
talk to all the people there.
And they'll bring out shit. They'll like pick up stuff and show you stuff and the models.
It's brilliant.
It's awesome.
And next time you're going to take your camera, so you're going to stop and take photos, and so we will have a much more leisurely time there.
And although you can't give it away, but that last bit at the end was awesome. Do you know what it reminded me of?
What?
It's a Small World in Paris. You know, like when you come off at the back bit, but like not in the same scale. Because
are you talking about that bit that doesn't exist anymore?
Does it not exist anymore?
No, and you have asked me that like 4 or 5 times this year. So we've talked a lot about Paris this year, and you've talked about when you used to get off the It's a Small World ride in Disneyland Paris.
All the dioramas.
You would go into a room that had all these dioramas, and you would look through these tiny little like kind of peephole things, and you would see.
They weren't peepholes.
Scenes. Yeah, but there were small little viewing spaces. Is that the right way to say it? I don't know. And you'd look inside, and there would be dioramas of all the different nationalities and everything, and it was really, really cool. Anyway, they've taken all that now, and it's now Princess Pavilion. It's a princess meet and greet. So go and knock yourself out next time we go there. Enjoy it. Another big question people asked: have you watched anything good on Netflix or Disney Plus this year? I mean, there's the obvious thing. Everyone watched Tiger King at the start of lockdown, and you know we joined in. We were very enthusiastic about that, and you loved it.
So it's really weird. I don't even know how to like talk about Tiger King because it is absolutely horrific, horrendous, nasty, horrible, disgusting. But like when you're in it, when you're watching it, like you kind of love him.
It's weird. And you hate yourself for it.
Yeah, you do. You kind of think, you almost feel sorry for him and almost kind of love him because he's so weird that it doesn't seem real. So it feels like you're watching like a mockumentary type thing. But like when you've watched, like we've watched other stuff since then and look back on it and you look at it and say, oh my God, how those animals were cared, how horrendous it was.
Yeah, there was a documentary that came out like in the last month and we watched it and we just thought, oh my gosh.
It was painful to watch. But I remember at the time, I couldn't stop singing I Saw a Tiger for like months.
No, you got hold of the video, you put it on a memory stick, put it on our living room TV and we'd play it at random times. We also, not long after that, watched, we binged all 3 series of a drama on Netflix that I cannot remember the name of now. Ozark. That was amazing.
Yeah, Ozark's really good.
And I kind of like that we got to binge all 3 of those seasons back to back because that was really good.
Amazing characters, amazing acting, amazing writing, really good.
That was good edge of your seat stuff. It's funny, I'm trying to think if we've watched anything else on Netflix since then that we've enjoyed in the same way, and I kind of think we haven't.
Not really. We're pushing through Star Trek Discovery, but not really loads into that.
We've not even been binging that really. We've probably got loads left to watch.
We're not going to talk about Disney Plus much because I said to you earlier that actually that would be a good little thing to have on our podcast as a section. Yeah,
I think we will have a regular Disney Plus section.
Yeah.
In terms of things,
but Mando,
we have to talk about Mandalorian because season 2 was absolutely amazing, and I love watching that because it's one of those few things that Kai will actually watch with us as well. There's not much we watch as a family, the 3 of us anymore, because we're really uncool now that we're in our 40s apparently. But we did watch that, and it was brilliant. And like I'm sure many people in that final episode of season 2, we got very vocal.
I guess are we allowed to talk about it? As
I think we are. If you haven't,
right. Well, spoiler alert. We're going to talk about Mando right now. So if you've not seen it,
just keep skipping.
Skip
a few minutes at least.
So I really like Mando, and I think it's difficult because it has those filler episodes that it takes a while to advance a story.
Are you talking about that episode where he like crashed on that ice planet thing? That was the one episode this season.
So
that
there was
just
that ice planet with the ice spiders.
Yeah.
And the frog.
I felt like
the frog with the frog babies. What the fuck was that? Like literally a can of frog babies. What I don't get. How did they get fertilized? Because that's got. He must have put his in a. I don't know how it happened. Because how do frogs don't they lay it and then they do it on top of the spawn?
I've got no clue.
I don't know how frogs do it, but it concerned me.
Well, they don't put it in a can.
It concerned me that Grogu was eating it.
Yeah,
but again,
that was near frog baby genocide.
Those weird like filler episodes, and like the one with that big dragon thing, like the Western one. I mean, that episode. Right, you had to have that episode to get like Boba Fett's armor.
Yeah.
Right, but. And it was so like it was deliberately done like spaghetti western style. Mm-hmm. But I think like sometimes it loses momentum.
Yeah.
And yeah, it could just drive stuff a lot harder and a lot more kind of action and stuff, and it loses out. I think a little bit due to that. Mm-hmm. But I thought it was really good. I think I'm unsure. I don't understand that Boba Fett's armor was in that town, in the same town, essentially next door to where Boba Fett was living, and has been living since he climbed out of the Sarlacc. Yeah. So what I want to know is, did the Sarlacc like eat his armor, and did Boba Fett have to climb out? Was he roaming naked in like back to Jabba's palace?
He must have been, I guess.
Or I don't get how he lost his armour. And it's not all his armour. Or is he now just a little bit too chubby that he can't get on the leg bits?
No.
Because all he can literally put on is the head bit.
Yeah,
he puts a chest bit on, but
it
doesn't do it up.
No, there's gaps at the side.
Yeah.
I mean, to be honest, that's kind of how I'm fitting into a lot of my clothing at the moment. So I'm feeling it.
And you should wear a helmet, probably.
Covering my face.
Yeah.
Whatever.
But yeah, so I think that needs to be explained. I can't imagine a naked Boba Fett, and I can't imagine if he's that passionate about his armor that he's willing to take on another Mandalorian. Mm-hmm. Why did he just go to that weedy bloke that's been walking around? Bearing in mind, like people on another planet could tell Mando there's another Mandalorian on that planet.
Yeah,
but Boba Fett, for 20 years or however long, has been on that planet and didn't even know his armor was there. He doesn't deserve to have it back, to be honest. He doesn't deserve it.
No.
Mando should have just put it on Grogu, but a little tiny Mando. That would have been a better story than a Jedi. A Jedi Mando baby.
Jedi Mando baby.
Oh, that's really.
I think with that Ice Planet episode, I feel like the only reason they actually put that
Sell
episode in was to sell the toys that were in Galaxy's Edge. Because I remember seeing those spidery things.
Nobody bought them.
And think, what the hell is this thing? I mean, it's ugly as hell for the start. Looks like a spider, and most people hate spiders. It's not cuddly. Why? And then suddenly they're in that episode, and nothing is said. It's just there to sell the toys.
So I'm looking for hopefully, like Grogu's not in it anymore now, because
I think Grogu's story has ended as far as the Mandalorian goes.
I'm done with Baby Yoda.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to whatever comes next. To be honest, well, he's now got the Darksaber. He's now king of the Mandalorians, isn't he? Or whatever that means.
They need to go, yeah, whatever. But you know. There is like loads of other cool shit on.
Yeah, I mean, there's
Disney
things we haven't watched. Things like Mulan came.
No, but yeah,
Disney Plus, and we haven't watched that yet.
No, we haven't. Forgot about that.
We do need to watch.
But there's loads of good like series on Disney Plus. But rather than talk about it now, we'll talk about it like what another segment
on another podcast.
When we start, this is like an end of year. Mildly shit podcast, but when we start the proper good podcasts, set people up, set the bar low now, for this one,
sounds good,
and then people know they're going to come back because the next one's going to be better. So
okay.
we said it now.
I see
this is a shit one.
Yeah,
next one's better.
Yeah,
so come back for that one.
We'll be more practiced. I don't know if you'll have an answer to this question. I'll have a very quick answer. Someone asked, what was the most surprising thing that got you through lockdown? I put it with the positive stuff because it's a positive thing. And for me, honestly, it was actually, I mean, I love you both to death, but it was spending so much time with you guys because normally that would drive me insane. And I do like to get out. But I have really enjoyed spending a lot of time with you guys. And Kai has actually spent, my mum always told me that teenage boys will kind of get to a stage where they don't want to know you for a while and they just disappear and live in their bedroom solidly for a couple of years, which he did. And then this year, he's just spent more time hanging out with us and watching TV with us. And we've enjoyed watching old movies. We've been watching loads of 80s movies with him lately. And it's really, really cool. And we're just spending more time together as a family. So for me, that was one of the best things that got me through all the shitty parts of lockdown this year.
I liked my pants, but I also liked waiting to get the consoles.
Oh, yeah.
So
that kept you going. It kept you fired up, didn't it?
Me and Kai were really excited about the new consoles coming out.
Yes.
And
yes,
then
you were.
When we got them, we were a little bit disappointed when we realised that there's no games yet. So we're just still playing the old games. But we that was quite good. And then I've probably bought about 20 guitars this year. Sent about 17 of them back.
Yes.
But I had the fun of buying 20 guitars.
And then selling them on again.
Yeah, or returning them.
And talking about buying and selling things, you sold a motorbike and bought a new motorbike. And that made you very happy.
Like, I haven't even talked about that yet.
I know.
Like, I'm back to Harley. Was it?
Yeah!
That's not even big enough. That's not even big enough. I don't have anything big enough. Oh, I need to get a Harley. I need to sample my bike and put it on here.
Okay.
So yeah, I've gone back. So I had Harley. I went to BMW. I had a couple of BMWs. Felt really, really old.
Although to be fair, your last BMW was the one that Tom Cruise rode in the last Mission Impossible movie, and it was sexy as hell.
Yeah, but Tom Cruise is also really old. So, you know. So I've gone back to Harley now. So I've got a new Lowrider S that I've had a few bits done. Ford controls, got a V&H exhaust, got a really nice sissy valve on the back. It's all black. Everything's black.
And it's awesome. Really loud.
It's the loudest thing. You can hear me from miles away.
Okay, cool. And then the last question. What thing are you most proud of in 2020?
Proud of? A serious answer.
Mm-hmm.
My job. I'm like, I love my job, and I think I'm doing pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
And I start my masters this year. Well, you know,
no, not this year, unless you're starting it in the next couple of hours.
Well, when people are listening to this, it will be this year.
That's true.
So yeah, and I'm really excited about that. I don't know if my brain's quite ready to do that. But yeah, so I start that this year. So I'm really proud that I've been accepted to do that. And yeah, so
do you know what? I would say the same. I've ended up in a job that I absolutely love. Fell into it by accident in a subject area that I didn't expect to, and I'm also going back into education. Not quite a master's, but sorry,
clown.
Stop playing with the machine. So actually, we're both going into 2021 as students, which
Discount
is crazy. Discounts,
yeah.
Woo! And yeah, it's taken a long time, but we've both found jobs we really love. We're both getting educated again, and I'm really, really grateful, and I'm proud of the both of us. So yay us! Well done. Finally, just looking ahead to 2021, I think we should maybe save this in detail, at least for a future episode. Do we have a Disney trip planned for 2021?
Yeah, so maybe we'll do that. The next episode will be what our plans are. So the snippet is we banked our points from this year to use next year. Next year being the 50th anniversary. So we have double points that we have already booked.
Yeah.
Will we get to go? We don't know yet.
Who knows? But I think we will maybe on the next episode we'll talk through what we have planned so far. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, we will pick that up then. So
and we need to bring back the whole. Is it going to be Ask Us Anything or something? I think something that's a bit
people
different.
like our Ask Us Anything with your Brian Blessed-esque intro? If you liked Ask Us Anything in its previous format, then let us know.
But there could be new topics. I mean, I'd quite like to, rather than just opening it up to questions, if people want to give recommendations for segments,
that's a good idea.
But,
maybe we can put something
and
on
I'll
social.
make jingles for each one.
Yeah.
And I can put them on one of my little buttons.
Yeah.
Job done.
That's fine. Okay. So we'll get those questions out there. And
can we do like a segment that's on America? Like, because I think it will be like,
because we are a little bit obsessed with America.
Yeah, but I think it will be cool, like, for people from America to get our take on stuff.
Yes.
But also, I just like talking about shit about America. But it could be about anything. We can pick random stuff about America,
sure.
from politics to Walmart and everything in between.
Politics to Walmart. I like it. Yeah, that's done. I'm
so
actually quite up for that.
That's the segment.
Okay.
And we are going to do Idiot of the Week.
I think we should. I mean, you're constantly moaning to me about this person or that person that's pissed you off or has done something really dumb. So I think if you were to have an Idiot of the Week, you'd have absolutely no problem fulfilling that on a weekly basis.
All right. And if there's any other segments, then
well, we'll throw them in and we'll see what people make of them. And if they're crap, we'll just swap them out for something new.
Yeah. Okay.
Brilliant. Okay. Well, I think that probably just about does it for our comeback episode.
Well, should we start our outro business?
Our outro, yeah.
And then we can just do the rest of it from there.
Take it away.
Let's do it. I'll press this button now.
Okay.
So,
well, yeah. So, do you know what? I don't even know if we addressed this in the beginning of the podcast, but we have a new theme tune.
We have a subscription to Epidemic Sound. We're not sponsored. We don't get shit for free. But that's what we do.
Brilliant. If you make vlogs, if you do podcasts, Epidemic Sound is an amazing resource, and it's kind of cheap. Right? I mean, I don't know.
We paid normal price for a while, and then we got a really good offer that we're on now. I think we paid like 3 years in advance on this offer.
Oh, really?
Yeah, whatever.
It's cheap.
It's good.
And there's loads of music and sound effects. It's brilliant. Anyway, all that aside, thank you so much for listening to our podcast. We've been away for a very long time, so if you're back here listening to us, we really, really do appreciate it.
We didn't say, this is going to be weekly from now on.
It's going to be weekly. We're committed. We bought the equipment. We have to do it.
We spent many monies on this, so we're going to do this. It's going to be a weekly thing.
Yeah.
You can contact Hannah on all the social media shit. I didn't do social media.
You still don't do social media. So you can, if you need to ask us a question, you want to submit any suggestions for the podcast, you can find us on Instagram, where we are at Charltons Do Disney. We are sometimes on Twitter at Charltons Do Diz. You'll also find us on YouTube, where you will find vlogs and videos of some sort, and I plan on putting these videos of our podcast up there soon.
Although, spoiler,
the camera stopped about 10 minutes ago, so we might have some sort of freeze frame, and we'll have to work that issue out next time. And then the last way that you can get hold of us is by email, and you can tell them what the email address is, Scott.
So it is mail@charltonsdodisney.com.
It is.
It is probably easier if they message via Instagram, because I've also set the email up to forward to you anyway.
Okay.
So anyway.
So either way, if you want to communicate with us, really, you're communicating with me. Anyway, that's going to do it for now. So like we said, we'll see you in a week's time. Thanks for listening. Take care, guys.
Cheers, Dad. Bye.